Hello everyone, I'm Maria and welcome back to my Nook. I am really excited for this reading vlog today because I have an actual TBR list. And that is something that usually doesn't happen because usually I read one book in a reading vlog, but today I've got a list. So last month, April, was such a reading marathon for me, honestly. I read so many books for my standards, so I was like, May needs to be calmer. I need to slow down in May. And then I realized I really want to finish this one book that's been on my currently reading list since February, and I did. And then I wanted to finish a book on time for a readathon, so I did that. And now I really think it's time to slow down a tiny bit, especially because the past couple of days I've been feeling so tired. So I need something light. So I have decided that today I'm going to start reading a graphic novel. I think it's a graphic novel that I saw in a vlog by Katie's Reading a while back, and it is called The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. The only thing I know about this book is that it's about tea and there's tiny dragons, I think, and apparently the dragons are named after different types of tea, and I am a huge fan of tea. I drink tea every day. I have a whole small shelf in my kitchen full of so many different types of tea. So I was like, this is probably exactly my cup of tea. Did you see what I did there? Okay, I'm sorry, that was such a bad joke. But anyway, I thought I definitely wanted to check this out. And for a while, my library didn't have a copy of that book. So I switched this thing on where you can get a notification once your library gets a copy of this book, and my library did get a copy of this book and I immediately borrowed it. And I also saw that they already have a copy of the second book in the series, I guess, which is the Tea Dragon Festival, and I've also borrowed it already. So if I like the first graphic novel, I can immediately go on and read the second one. I'm just hoping that it's gonna be cute and easy to read and calm and cozy, because that's exactly what I need right now. So we're gonna start with that today. And then after that, tomorrow, I am going to start Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, which I am so excited about. I read Six of Crows 2 weeks ago. It's already been more than 2 weeks by now. And as I said, I just haven't really had time to start the sequel so far, but now I'm getting to it and I'm really excited for it because I really enjoyed Six of Crows. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing where the crows are at now and how the story will continue in the second book. So yeah, those are my reading plans so far for this vlog, and I hope I'm going to have a nice and calm and cozy time, because that's definitely what I need at the moment. And I hope you guys will have a nice time watching as well. Alright, hello everybody. I've just finished reading both The Tea Dragon Society and The Tea Dragon Festival by Kay O'Neill, and those were such a lovely graphic novels. They were so lighthearted and relaxing and so just gentle and adorable and so cute and sweet, and I just they were so heartwarming. Honestly I enjoyed them so much. So basically there's just these small domesticated dragons that like grow tea leaves on their antlers or in their fur or anything like that, and people just take care of these little tea dragons that are basically as big as like cats or small dogs. And taking care of them is apparently really hard because they're kind of picky and have quite high expectations. But honestly, I kind of want to have a tea dragon for myself now because they were so adorable. Like there were peppermint tea dragons and Earl Grey tea dragons and jasmine and chamomile tea dragons, and oh, I loved it so much. And these two graphic novels, they're not really a conventional series in that way, but more like companion graphic novels. And I think the Tea Dragon Festival takes place before the Tea Dragon Society, as far as I have gathered. Honestly, these graphic novels were just about like tiny stories that the main characters in those novels experienced in their life, like trying to become a cook, trying to take care of the tea dragons, meeting an actual big dragon, and just going about life, that sort of thing. Also, the graphic novels were really inclusive, which I really liked because LGBTQ plus was a topic as far as I had gathered, and there was someone in a wheelchair and a deaf person, and sign language was represented. And just in general, I felt like there were so many different ethnicities and cultures basically depicted and represented, so I really loved that, and it just didn't really feel forced or anything. It felt very natural, like it was just there, you know? It just happened, just like it happens in life, and I really liked that. Also, there were like tiny life lessons basically, but those two did not feel forced or like bam, here's a life lesson. They were just really gently and intricately woven and laced into the story, which I really liked. So all in all, I really enjoyed those graphic novels, and they were so adorable and relaxing. The illustrations were beautiful. I enjoyed them so much, as I've said a couple of times now, so I'm going to shut up about that now, and I think we'll talk again tomorrow once I start Crooked Kingdom. Alright, it is now the next day and I have started Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I am currently on page 65, which is the end of chapter 4 and also the end of part 1. So I've stopped right at the beginning of part 2, which I thought was a good stopping point to let you know some of my initial thoughts. So far, it's basically been a good old setup situation. We've been reminded how Six of Crows ended, and we've been shown what kind of consequences that had, what happened after the events of Six of Crows, like immediately after, how much time has passed between the end of Six of Crows and the start of Crooked Kingdom, what happened in between, where the characters are at right now, what's been going on in Ketterdam, which is the city that this duology takes place in. We've been shown the problems and just in general what's been going on, you know, and kind of what's the mission, basically. Even though we kind of already knew that at the end of Six of Crows, but now it's a bit more fleshed out, sort of, for the characters. The characters have a more detailed idea of what they want to do, what they need to do, or at least now it's being shared more in detail with the reader, you know? Other than that, not much of a plot has happened yet, other than the setup. So far, I think I'm enjoying it. I'm obviously enjoying being back in this world and back with the crows, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're going to tackle the issue that's going on since the end of Six of Crows, which I obviously can't talk about because spoilers, but I'm very curious about how that is going to go. I'm also really happy because we finally got a POV chapter from Wylan, which is something that I was missing in Six of Crows, and now we finally got one and I'm very happy about it. Like, I actually really liked his POV. There was only a single chapter so far, but I really liked it. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing more of that. And other than that, I don't really have more thoughts yet, because again, it's really only been a setup kind of situation. So I'm going to read more and then update you at a later point in time. Maybe not tomorrow, because I don't know how much reading I'll get in tomorrow, but once I've read a bit more and have some more opinions on this book. Hello, it is now Sunday and we haven't talked in a couple of days. The last time I updated you or filmed anything was on Tuesday, if I remember correctly. And the reason for that is that I haven't really read much in the last couple of days. Like, I read maybe 10 to 30 pages per day, which really is not enough to be worth an update every day. And I don't know, I just haven't really been in much of a reading mood the last couple of days. I don't know if I was in a reading slump or am in a reading slump, because I do kind of want to read. I do want to pick up my book and continue reading it, but I've already mentioned this at the beginning of the vlog, I think. It's just that I have been so tired constantly lately, and I've also gotten a lot of headaches this week, almost every day, and that does kind of ruin the reading mood a bit, you know what I mean? I do feel like it has to do with me probably needing new glasses, because when your eyesight changes and your glasses don't suit your current eyesight anymore, that can cause being tired a lot or having headaches and stuff like that. And I just feel like in general looking has become so uncomfortable. I feel like, I don't know, just like reading on my computer or reading a book or looking into the distance for a while just has become increasingly more uncomfortable and exhausting for my eyes, and I'm starting to feel a pressure on my eyes, that sort of thing. I already went to the optician about this issue because I've been wearing glasses for years and years, so I kind of know the deal. I went to the optician and they measured my eyesight, or whatever you want to call that. I'm getting new glasses and I really hope that that is going to solve the issue. But anyway, let's talk books, because yesterday I watched the live reading sprints that are hosted by Cassandra Lynn and Katie is Reading, who run the Wyverns and Words book club. And in those reading sprints, like, it's a live stream that happens once a month where they just casually chat with the audience, and then we just read for 30 minutes. Like, everybody reads their own books for themselves, and then we chat again, and then we read again for 30 minutes and chat a bit more. And it's just so casual and relaxing and fun, and I love those reading sprints so incredibly much. They're always so much fun. Seriously, I love them so much. And yesterday they really helped put me back into the reading mood. So now I am so excited to get back to reading. Also because today I don't have any major things to do. Like, nothing that's super important or would take super long. So I can actually just sit back and relax and read the whole day. And I might also update my reading journal later on, because I haven't done that in a bit and I really want to do that. But let's talk book first. The last time we talked, I think I was on page 60 something of Crooked Kingdom. I am now on page 143, which is exactly the end of part 2 and the end of chapter 10 in Crooked Kingdom. By now, I'm trying to figure out how I can be vague about what's been going on. So they've been dealing a lot with the main issue that has come up at the end of Six of Crows, but in the meantime another problem has come up, and now another big problem has come up, which I don't know yet how they're going to deal with. Like, with the main problem, I know what the plan is, and with the other problem that came up, they've also discussed a plan. But this problem has just come up and they haven't had time to discuss it yet or make up a plan or whatever. So I am really looking forward to seeing how they deal with this thing, how they handle it, how they're gonna go about it, what is going on. I obviously can't say much, but I am happy to get back into this book today. Alright, hello everybody. It is Monday now, and I have made quite some progress since we last talked. I'm now on page 303. I just finished chapter 21, which is in part 4 already. So really, I've read quite a bit yesterday and today, which I'm so happy about. Like, I feel like I'm getting really back into the reading pace. That was an odd way of saying that, but I think you got my point. Now, what can I say about what's been going on? First of all, I would like to say that I have realized that I'm really enjoying the Wylan chapters. There haven't been that many yet, but the ones that have been there, I've really enjoyed. Especially chapter 14. I think it was chapter 14. Yep. Chapter 14 I enjoyed a lot, even though it was emotionally stressful, to say the least, but I enjoyed it, and I also really enjoyed the dynamics that we saw between Jesper and Wylan. One thing that I do want to say is that I found myself kind of getting bored a bit for a short while, But exactly when I was starting to get a bit bored, bam, something happened. And like now, I'm definitely not bored anymore. I don't think I can talk about any of it, and I don't know how I could possibly vaguely try to say what's going on, but just know that something's happened or something is still going on. And I am definitely not bored anymore. Like, I am very thrilled at the moment. I actually planned to stop reading like an hour ago, but well, I still read until just shortly before I started filming this clip. So there's that. One thing that really worries me though is that, how do I explain this? Sometimes authors pull this certain move where they have characters talk about like what they want to do once whatever's going on in the plot is over, or what they want to achieve in their life after certain events in the plot are over, or what they want to do with another character once certain events in a plot are over, you know, and then the character dies and everything they've said before, what they had planned to do after certain events, becomes even more sad and like tragic, because they will never get to do any of that because they never made it, you know, that sort of thing. So now sometimes when characters start talking about what they want to do after this is over, I'm like, please tell me you're not going to die. Like, please tell me that's not what this means. Like, I don't know, but sometimes when characters start talking like that, or like having inner monologues like that, it gets me worried, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's been going on with some of the characters, and it has me worried, but I'm sure things will be fine, right? Yeah. Another thing that's kind of sad, but it has nothing to do with the plot of the book, is that some of the paint of the title on the cover is chipping off, and it's really making me sad. But the paint is just coming off, because that's basically the place where my fingers are mostly at. Am I blurry? Because that's mostly where my fingers are at when I'm holding the book while reading. And basically the same thing has happened to Six of Crows, where the paint of the title just came off a little bit from like holding the book. But it didn't come off this much. It just came off very, very slightly. I actually really like the title design on these books. Sometimes certain paints just come off if you like touch them too much. I had the same issue with my The Atlas 6 book, which was also really, really sad because it has this gold paint on the cover, and I don't know what it is about this sort of paint or whatever it is, but it kind of makes me sad. Anyway, I'm enjoying the book so far, possibly a tiny bit less, but I think I'm gonna decide that once I'm actually done with the book. I'm happy about the progress I've made yesterday and today. I'm going to talk to you again tomorrow probably. Alright, hello everybody. Today is Wednesday and I have a big reading update, I would say. But first of all, I kind of want to address something. And that is the fact that I may or may not be wearing new glasses. Maybe you saw, maybe you didn't even notice, but I am actually wearing new glasses. I mentioned that I went to the optician and they actually did figure out that I needed new lenses. I was actually trying very hard to keep my previous frame. It just always takes me a lot of time to choose a frame for my glasses, but the optician said that the frame would most probably break if they would try to put new lenses into the frame. So she advised me to get a new frame. So I chose a new frame. It looks very similar to my previous frame. I just loved my previous frame so badly. I do like this frame. I just think I have to get used to it. It's probably also because I am kind of sad about having to leave my previous frame behind, and I am kind of missing it at this point. I mean, I only picked this new frame up this morning, so it hasn't been that long yet. But I do feel like I have to get used to them, and hopefully I will fall in love with them as much as I loved my old frame. But it's just the change that I'll have to get used to, and it's a big deal right now, but it'll most probably be fine once I've gotten used to it. But anyway, reading update. The last time we talked, I think I was on page 303, I think. I'm now on page 401, which is the beginning, middle-ish of chapter 29, and I am already in part 5 of the book. A lot of things have happened since we last talked. I did mention how I had just started to become a tiny bit bored, and then a lot of action was starting, and I am really enjoying what's going on at the moment, even though a lot of it is very stressful. And some situations and discussions and conversations are also a bit like emotionally painful, that sort of stuff. But I am still really enjoying it. I am really enjoying the directions that some relationships are taking, even though not all of those directions are necessarily what one would call positive or a happy direction. But I just like that Leigh Bardugo chose to do that with that relationship, you know? Instead of having that relationship go into a happy direction. Even though obviously having that relationship go into a happy direction would be like a picket fence dream kind of thing, but that's exactly it. I just kind of feel like that would be a dream, and it wouldn't really fit the plot, it wouldn't fit the story, it wouldn't fit the characters very well. So I'm very glad Leigh Bardugo did not decide to do that. And I am just now realizing that I'm not even holding up the book. This whole time it's just been laying in front of me and I've been looking at it, but you didn't get to look at it. Anyway, other than that, we've also gotten quite a bit of content of characters from the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which I am quite happy about. Like, I'm just enjoying it a lot at this point, and I'm really noticing how much more I'm enjoying reading this book. It might just be because I'm slowly getting out of my mini reading slump, I guess, but I don't know. I'm just enjoying this book a lot. Not a lot more, because I was already enjoying the book, but I am enjoying the book even more now. That's how I should probably say it. Also, I do want to mention, you probably saw the clip, but I ran out of another tab color. The tab color that I'm using for Crooked Kingdom is just gone. And I don't think that I've used that tab color on any of my other books. So I do believe that Crooked Kingdom was the first book where I used that tab color, and I finished the tab color up in the same book. Again, same situation as with Six of Crows. And that one I also started using a tab color for the first time and finished up the same tab color in the same book. Now I have to use these, which is the same color but in a different style, which is fine, I guess. But I mean, this just goes to show how much I'm tabbing this book, which on the other hand goes to show how much I'm enjoying this book. So there you have that. I don't think I will be able to finish this book tomorrow. Most probably not, because I've still got 130-ish pages, a little more left. Definitely by Saturday. I really hope so, because this book has been taking me so long. And I know it's not actually that long, but I'm not used to books taking me this long anymore. Last year, when I was just getting back into reading, it took me like 2 weeks to finish a 350-ish page book. Slowly but steadily, I was reading more and more, and I know this is like 530 pages long, and I have not been taking 2 weeks yet. But I don't know, I'm just not used to it taking me this long to read books anymore. So I guess my brain is just trying to tell me to speed up because I've been taking too much time. But that's just not true. I'm just reading at my own pace, and that is fine. So I'm going to continue reading at my own pace, and I will report back to you if something very interesting happens and I have very interesting thoughts that are in dire need of being shared. But if that doesn't happen, I'll probably talk to you once I finish this book. Alright everybody, today is Friday, and as you just saw in the clips, I have finished Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. And I am emotional. So the last 130-ish pages, so much happened. It was so stressful and so emotional, and it was such a roller coaster, but it was the good kind, if that makes any sense. It was the kind where you just want to read another page and another page and another chapter just so you can find out what's going to happen next. And to be honest, I'm struggling a bit to put into words what I think and how I feel about this book, even though I finished it a couple of hours ago and I've given myself a bit of thought on this already. Also, one thing I do want to mention is, it's just a little fun fact, but I dreamt of the crows for the second night in a row last night. That is the kind of hold they have on me. Like, I can't believe it. But anyway, let's talk about the book and especially the ending. I'm obviously not going to spoil anything. I'll try to be very vague about things. I did really enjoy how their schemes and plans were all tying up and coming together. I loved that part so much. I was having the time of my life, honestly. I was sat on my couch reading this book and I was laughing out loud. I was giggling like a child. I was basically stomping my feet with happiness because I was enjoying it so much. I was already thinking that the way things were weaving together at the end was making up for the boring part that I experienced somewhere in the beginning of the book, and that I would bump the rating up to a 5-star. And then Leigh Bardugo did something with one of the characters that I am not really happy about. And it's not just because of what happened, but also because of how it happened, and especially because of how it was executed. I don't really know how to put it into words, especially without spoiling anything, but the way it was executed just kind of felt a bit as if it was a sort of afterthought, and that kind of made what happened feel a bit meaningless and pointless almost. It just wasn't what the character deserved, in my opinion. It definitely was not satisfying. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan of the books and the characters, but also because of the way it was executed. It was just not well done, in my opinion. Like, again, it just kind of felt so meaningless somehow. So yeah, I really did not like that. I did, however, really enjoy and like how it ended for the other characters and the directions that their lives took. Those things were definitely satisfying for the most part. I mean, some more so than others, but I was fine with most of them, except for what happened to that one character. So in the end, now I don't really feel like giving the book 5 stars. I think it's going to be a 4.5 stars. I might change my mind on this in like a week from now or so, when I've really had time to sit with my feelings and my thoughts and everything. But I don't know, just right now I don't really feel like giving the book 5 stars. I still really enjoyed this book. I loved it so much. I had a great time. I tabbed the book so much, which just goes to show how much I enjoyed it. I already tabbed Six of Crows so incredibly much. I think I put 24 tabs into Six of Crows, and I counted, I put 33 tabs into this book, which is crazy for my standards. I know there's people out there that tab a lot more, but on average, I think I put maybe 5 or 10 tabs into a book usually. So putting 33 tabs into a single book, crazy. That's wild to me, honestly. And I feel like it might have even been more, because in the beginning I was absolutely holding myself back, because usually I am kind of going by gut feeling. I just think whenever I feel like I want to tab something, I'm going to tab it. It needs to feel like something worth tabbing, right? And I felt like I wanted to tab everything. And I told myself, you can't tab everything, that's too many tabs. But now I'm thinking, I kind of regret holding myself back there. I should have just tabbed everything I wanted to tab, because there is no such thing as tabbing a book too much. But I did hold myself back in the beginning, and so there are definitely way more tabs towards the end of this book. But yeah, I just really enjoyed this. I think Six of Crows is definitely one of my favorite series of this year so far. And with that, let's recap quickly what I read in this vlog. I first started out with 2 graphic novels, which were The Tea Dragon Society and The Tea Dragon Festival. Those were incredibly lovely and wholesome. And now I finished Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, and therefore also the Six of Crows duology. If I'm being really honest, I kind of don't know what I'm going to do with myself now that I finished this duology. Like, I know there's more books in the Grishaverse, but the crows, I already missed them. I don't know, I'll be fine. I mean, I can watch the show, the Shadow and Bone show, hopefully soon, because I don't normally have a Netflix subscription, but I might get one to watch the show. Hopefully soon. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this vlog. I really hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, maybe give this video a thumbs up and perhaps subscribe to my channel. Maybe let me know in the comments if you have read any of the books that I've read in this vlog, so we can maybe talk about them. But don't leave any spoilers for anything, please. And other than that, I will see you guys somewhere else on the internet. Bye!